Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Andy Cruz does the business. Gets the win against Mishiro, the Japanese fighter. But I'm going to tell you, Andy Cruz passes the eye test, right? The opponent was tailor-made for him. But my thing is this. With Muratalla, seeing that now Andy Cruz is in line to challenge Muratalla for the IBF title. And Muratalla is a whole different beast than that Japanese fighter Mishiro that Andy Cruz fought tonight. We're going to really see what kind of levels there are to Andy Cruz because, excuse me. Damn, it's like I'm allergic talking about Andy Cruz. Because when I was watching Andy Cruz tonight, right, he's there's a lot of subtle things that he does, man. If you're watching, his timing is great. Little subtle head movement, counters, recognizes when a shot is landing, will triple up, quadruple up on it. And then when the opponent starts to worry about that, then he'll change up his punch selection. He's a very intelligent fighter. But with 6-0, man, and 2 knockouts, I'd have to wonder just how is a guy like Andy Cruz, how is he going to keep Muratalla off him? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I mean, Muratalla is 23-0. 17 knockouts, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Muratalla really is the goods. You know, he has an abundance of fights. He has, a lot of knockouts. And I just think for Andy Cruz, it's really going to be a tough fight for him. I think Muratalla is going to land. But this is where we're going to see what kind of levels there really are to Andy Cruz. Because I'm going to tell you, he passes the eye test. But I can't see him turning down that fight. When I watched him perform tonight, I was like, damn, Andy Cruz did the business. But I'm trying to envision him and Muratalla fighting and how that would go. Andy Cruz is not a huge 135-pounder, probably average-sized guy. The power, he's just really, it's his accuracy, his timing, punch selection, has respectable power. You can see he boxes. But once he starts touching you, he'll start sitting on his shots a little bit more, getting that leverage on him, and he can hurt you. But I'm trying to see how the fight will go with him and Muratalla. Like, that's really what I want to see. Because you watch a guy like Lomachenko, when Lomachenko first got started. You watching Lomachenko in the ring, and the timing's there. Everything with Andy Cruz is like Lomachenko. The timing, the accuracy, the punch variation. But Lomachenko didn't look like he was really hitting that hard either. But you see that he was, when he decided to step on the gas, he was getting guys out of there. So I think it's a combination of the speed, the accuracy, the timeliness, and having decent power that enabled Lomachenko to get a lot of the stoppages that he was able to get, especially when he first started off, before he started bubbling up weight classes. And that could be what happens here with Andy Cruz. But if for some reason the Muratalla fight doesn't happen, I think the dream fight for all of us is to see Andy Cruz finally fight Keyshawn Davis. But I don't think that fight's going to happen with Keyshawn going up to 140. But, man, when that fight does happen, it's going to be a great fight. I'm definitely tuning in because Andy Cruz pokes Keyshawn Davis in the eyeball at every opportunity. But when I watch Keyshawn, I'm watching Andy Cruz. And I'm watching Keyshawn, and Keyshawn kind of looking like a steamroller. But again, you got to look at the opposition, right? But that would be a very interesting fight. So I don't know how that fight would go, but it'll be interesting and fun to watch. Now, one fight for Andy Cruz that I think would be very interesting and very dangerous is somebody running around here, man, named Edwin de los Santos. Now, Edwin de los Santos is looking for a fight. You know what I'm saying? He just, missed out on the Keyshawn Davis fight because Keyshawn came in 4-point-something pounds overweight. So De Los Santos got paid, didn't get all his money. You're hearing all kind of stories. Bottom line is he got some money for not fighting, but he wasn't happy with the outcome. But the bottom line is, man, is De Los Santos is a credible name, and he's ready to get in the ring, and he's had a prolonged absence from the ring, so he's ready to get in the ring, and I think De Los Santos will return and get in the ring within a month if they can find him an opponent. Andy Cruz would probably want more time off, but I'm just saying that would be a really, really good fight. But for Eddie Hearn, I don't think he'll put De Los Santos in the ring with Cruz in the ring with De Los Santos. I'm trying to see who I think is more dangerous, De Los Santos or Muratalla. Well, first of all, Muratalla would be my go-to because that's where the title is. Although Muratalla can fight, he can hit. I still think the riskier fight, just because of what the opponent brings to the table, is De Los Santos. But when you look at what fight makes the most sense, is of course to go fight for a title. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, he's a mandatory to Muratalla. 135 is wide open, and I think Andy Cruz looked pretty comfortable at 135 for the moment, man. The Bozy Innocent team are doing a real good job with Andy Cruz, but Andy Cruz came to them, man, fully functional. There's not much that had to be done to him except help him transition to the pro style, but, he could fight already. Anyway, the question is, how far can Andy Cruz go, and will he defeat Muratalla? Anyway, he passes the eye test, but a real test is coming up for him next, if, in fact, they make the Muratalla fight. Anyway, best of luck to Andy Cruz. We'll see what happens with Keyshawn Davis down the road. But boy, oh boy, if for some reason Andy Cruz ends up in a fight with Edwin De Los Santos, how do you see that going? Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.